So we're going to take a physical practice, a Qigong practice actually, and use it as a way to have an experience around the mechanical aspect of breathing, the biochemical aspect of breathing, and the psychophysiological dimension. So let's start by bringing the feet together, just letting the hands rest over the lower abdomen. With soft knees, drop the tailbone, lift the crown of the head, relax the shoulders up and back on the rib cage, and then begin to pay attention to the breath. And in that, just feel the air moving in and out through the nose. And then allow the abdomen to relax. So we're going to use this sense of relaxing the abdomen 360 degrees around as a way to allow the breath to draw in. So a couple breath cycles where you realize that as you relax that area, the breath can fill it better. And then do the same thing in the chest. So relax the chest, front to back, sides, allowing the breath to fill the abdomen and then fill the chest. It doesn't have to be a big breath. And in fact, right now, our metabolic demand is really pretty low. So our breath can be subtle in terms of the volume, but we can still direct what moves and what relaxes into it. And then the third phase is the clavicular portion, the collarbones. Relax this area and imagine that as you take that breath in and you fill the abdomen, you fill the chest. Now there's also this vertical dimension of being able to bring that breath into the upper lobes of the lungs. And I realize that in doing this, we're likely breathing more than what our metabolic need is. And let's just say a little bit of that is okay. Energetically, we're feeling that sense of relaxing into the abdomen, relaxing the chest, and relaxing the clavicle portion so we get this full canister, at least energetically expanding. And then take a wide leg stance. We'll bring in a little more movement here. We're going to start a movement called knocking on the door of life. Now this movement is generated from the feet. So feel how, being in touch with your footprint, you can use that to drive the hips, and then the upper body is just a representation of that movement. So we're knocking over the lower abdomen, letting the forearm and the back of the hand knock the abdomen and the low back. Knocking on this area just to increase our mental connection to it so we have a bigger ability to relax, to let go, to fill. And then that front hand knocks over the front of the chest, knocking right over the points in front of the shoulder, our upper lung points, driving the movement from our feet print and our hips. And then come to the upper traps. We're going to just tap on that area, giving it a nice cue to let go. Easy place to hold tension, and an awesome place to let tension go. Then back to the front of the chest. Just feeling that knocking, waking your body awareness and your body control up in that area. And then to the lower abdomen. Feet print and hips driving the movement. And then slow that down. Release. And with a breath in, we're going to open the chest. This is called spinal cord breathing. And with a breath out, we round forward and help the breath out. So this version of spinal cord breathing is all about practicing the exhale. So we're using the motion to help press the air out. We can allow the breath in to just be nice and easy. The movement helps bring that breath in. And then we're going to use the breath out and a little contraction in the abdomen to just help squeeze the breath out. What's common is that we spend a good part of our day reaching, striving, working the breath in without ever even realizing it and neglecting the breath out. There's a term for that, which is called breath stacking. We know it happens in the athlete population, and no doubt, even when we're not engaged in athletic endeavors, it's a tendency. So this is a beautiful time to help yourself with the exhale. One more time. Breath in and a breath out. And release the hands. We're going to transition into its counterpart, a Qigong move called Buddha holds up the earth. So we come to this top position where we're, just imagine, holding up the earth. You draw the elbows back, the chin tucks a little bit. This is the breath in. And with the breath out, we release. So we're going to intentionally bias the breath in. Drawing the breath in, palms face skyward, elbows pull back, chin tucks back. We hold the breath for just a moment, and with the breath out, we release. When we hold at the top of a breath in, we energize the system. When we do that intentionally, we can do it skillfully. When we do it by accident or unintentionally, oftentimes there's negative consequences. And so we're putting some intention into charging up the system. Comfortable breath out. You can either come down the front, as I've done on the last couple, or drawing in, pausing, release out to the side. 2 more. Breath in, hold, and release. 1 more. So what we're doing with this first part of the practice is we're engaging the physical system of the breath, the biomechanics of the breath. Let's open one side at a time now. It's almost like a one-handed Buddha holds up the earth. So one palm is going to face skyward while the other faces towards the earth. We side bend away, and with a breath in, we open up the side body. And then with a breath out, the little fingers come towards the center. And with a breath in, we open the other side. There's a small squat as we come down with a breath out. And with a breath in, we stand a little taller, side bend away just a bit to open up that side body. Don't think of it so much as something you have to push hard. Some of the most profound opening comes from allowing. So even though we're working the mechanical part of the breath, and we are putting intention into movement and into opening, feel how you can do it with minimum to no strain. Palms face away from each other. Breath in to open. We'll go 1 more to the other side. Breath in to open. And release. And now take a little wider stance. I'm going to do a motion called twist and turn. Same concept. Palms are going to press away from each other. This time 1 high, 1 low. We take a breath as we come into the center. And with a breath out, turn to ring the breath out. Breath in as we come down to the center. And with a breath out, palms press away from each other, stand tall, turn and look behind you. Breath into the center. 1 hand in front, 1 hand in back. Breath out, stand a little taller, press the palms away. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Easy breath in. Easy breath out. Breath into the belly. Breath out. 1 more to each side. Breath in and a breath out. And release. Step the feet in. So bring the feet back close together. And right now, as we've opened the mechanical system, we also generated a little bit of heat. And so what that usually means is it's easier now to actually find a subtle breath. So give that a try. Hands rest over the lower abdomen. And just feel what it is to let the breath quiet. Don't strain to make it quiet. Just allow it to be. And we're going to make our way into improving the biochemistry of breathing. And what we mean by that is we're going to start to build up a little more CO2. We have been building, and now we're going to really go for it and bump CO2 up even more. So the feet come apart. We're going to do a Qigong move called the turtle. With a breath in, the arms come up overhead. And with a breath out, we come down into a squat position. Now you've got options here. Hands can go to the knees, and this may be all the further you go. If you'd like to make it a little bit harder, elbows can rest on top of the knees. And if you'd like to take it that third, the hardest version of it, the elbows come just inside the knees. The tailbone lifts towards the sky, even though the knees stay bent. We soften between the shoulder blades while softening the face. And we breathe easy into the kidneys. And then with a breath in, the arms come up overhead. Breath out, pull that energy down evenly. Take a moment just to pause at the bottom. And just feel that drive to breathe a little bit more. We're going to do 2 more of those, each of them holding for about 3 breath cycles. So a breath in, the arms come up overhead. And I know you may not have fully recovered yet. With a breath out, come back into the position you would like, either hands on top of the knees, elbows on top of the knees, or elbows inside the knees. Find that easy, gentle breath. The weight is even between the heels and the balls of the feet. The toes are relaxed. The face is relaxed. There's a softness between the shoulder blades. We're breathing into the belly, into the thighs. And with a breath in, the arms come up overhead. Pull that energy down evenly throughout the body. Take a moment just to pause. And last time, breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Steady, slow, subtle breathing. Breath in, breath out. With a breath in, the arms come up overhead. Breath out to pull that energy down evenly throughout the body. Step in, come right back to our starting place, and let the dust settle. The knees are soft. The tailbone roots towards the earth. And just let that sense of ease start to come back. In phase 2 and 3, we take this a little further. You'll use your breath fitness score to determine if you're ready for that, and don't rush it. The most important thing is that you work where you are. We'll tend to go backwards with our breath fitness score if we reach ahead too far, too fast. So we have worked with the mechanical aspect of breathing. We've now done something to bring the chemistry online. We've bumped up CO2 a bit. By staying in nose breathing, we're getting good access to nitric oxide. And now we're going to move into the easy part, the flow part. There are 2 movements that we'll do. We build on these in 2 and 3. The first 2, you know already, Buddha holds up the earth. Different than the first time we did it, where we put a little bit of work into it by holding the top of the inhale. This time, you're going to just keep a sense of easy flow going. So the inhale and the exhale are actually equal in length. Neither one biased. And there is no pause to it. So here the efforting is really around finding the movement without effort. Not often that we get to do that. So just enjoy this. What we're doing is literally massaging the nervous system by finding ease in movement making the breath silky smooth. We're stimulating the vagus nerve and turning on the parasympathetic nervous system. Turns out that's the area where most of us need a little practice. We're actually good at amping up. We're not quite as good at calming down. And so this is a practice of calming down, pairing it with movement. So that's Buddha holds up the earth. Then we've got the fountain, the second one. Incidentally, there's 5 that we get to by the time we're done with the phase 3 routine. So fountain, the back of the hands face towards each other. We come right up to the collarbones, release out to the side. An even easier one to just get that flowing movement. So as we draw the hands up, the hips glide forward, and as we breathe out, the hips glide back. So come up the center and release. Two more. And breath in and release. Equal breath in and out. Effortless movement. And then with a breath in, the arms come up overhead. This is called pulling down the heavens. We're just going to draw energy through the head as though to clear the head of thinking, and then to clear the heart of feeling. Letting both of them just be light and easy, and then letting earth accept the energy. There's no energy that we can give that the earth can't accept. So just take this as a bit of practice, a bit of an experience to release tension in the head, release tension in the heart, and just let the earth hold that energy. One more time. Pulling down the heavens. We'll make our way to right where we started. Feet come together. Hands rest over the lower abdomen. It's likely the breath is going to feel different than when we started. And for many of you, that's going to translate to just feeling lighter and easier. So right now, just paying attention to the breath coming in and out through the nose. And then without making the breath longer or shorter, just energetically appreciate that as you take a breath in, the abdomen can relax, the chest can relax, the clavicles can relax. Letting that breath occupy the whole space without necessarily having to be bigger. Just experiencing the ease of full, deep breathing. Not to be confused with big breathing. And that's our practice for phase 1. So the idea is spend time with this. Don't worry about reaching to make it harder. Don't worry about stretching to push further. By simply letting this practice be easy, it unlocks the range. All right? Thanks for your practice.